I never realized how ugly the 6.1 engine is on an SRT8 without its Hemi covers on it. Like, that shit looks ugly as fuck. Welcome back to the channel. I am still currently working on the SRT8. I have postponed a lot of different things that I was going to be doing to the SRT8 until we had the EVAP system. I have been fixing pieces and parts to the SRT8, to that EVAP system, and I found a very bad fuel line or fuel rail, however you want to say it, which I will show you guys here in a second, that really does need to be replaced. Now, the part about the fuel rail, and I've spent days, if not a week, trying to figure out where I'm gonna get this, because a lot of the SRT8 parts are unfortunately discontinued, and I have tried looking at the the newer model chargers. Even though they kind of look similar in the platform, I don't want to buy the new rails and it actually does not fit, because then I'll be out like almost $300. So I could take it to a shop and they're probably gonna do the exact same thing I'm getting ready to do, but we'll get into that in just a second. But mainly my sensors and all that kind of stuff, I'm replacing all those because this is a 2007. This car is what, almost 20 years old, so it's about that time. I'm going to be changing this out. I got a couple new parts for the SRT8 minus the wrap. I have postponed that due to trying to fix some of these errors on the SRT8, because I'm getting more and more codes on the OBD reader after the EVAP system, so I'm kind of fixing them one by one. I've been working on this car for the last 2.5 to 3 weeks. So between trying to juggle work and making content for you guys, it's definitely been a little bit of a hassle. I'm giving you guys an update today on what's pretty much going on. This is what we're going to be using today to fix the fuel rail, or I'm not sure if it's the vacuum rail or whatever. I think it's the fuel rail. And this can be bought at Advanced Auto, AutoZone, and this basically gives you the measurements here: 5x16, 3/8, and then 7/9 mm, 9/5 mm. This is Dorman. This is a universal nylon fuel line repair kits. Most of these fuel lines, guys, depending on your vehicle, are going to be made out of either copper, some type of metal. I decided to go with nylon, and the reason being for that is because it actually has a little bit of flex in it. So the ones that are actually on the car, which I will show you guys here in a second, are like some type of metal, and it's completely crushed. So if something were to hit this, it may puncture it if it hits it hard enough, and then you'll get a leak. But if this presses up against something, it'll basically flex instead of completely crush. So that's why I kind of went with the nylon, and it'll be easier to cut when I get ready to go ahead and cut out the piece that I need and put these pieces or parts in. I don't know if y'all can see how bad. So I got a puncture here, like straight up puncture. So whatever I hit went straight through this and completely damaged this rail right here. And that is part of the EVAP system. Like, it is so pinched, like it's bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the nylon, and basically we're going to end up cutting this evenly. This entire piece, we're going to cut this out, and we're going to take that nylon and those metal brackets and basically fit it in between here and basically close it off, and that'll actually fix this issue. If it is very badly damaged, which it's just this part here, I'd recommend replacing the entire rail. But good luck trying to find it, because I could not find it. But I found a separate solution, which is the repair kit. And like I said, since it is not seriously damaged, other than this part here, I can go ahead and cut here and pretty much get my end pieces there, and then get my nylon in there and basically close it up, and it should be tightly sealed. Tracing back that damaged rail I had to disconnect this to make sure there was no gas coming out of here. I'm also going to open up the gas cap just to make sure that there's no air pressure, just to kind of release some of that if there is. But no gas came out of here. I wanted to make sure that once I pulled this out, I didn't have gas sipping out, because I do have to cut that rail and to get that damaged piece out. And of course you could definitely weld it, but I'm going a different route. Since it's not metal on metal, we're going nylon, so I'm not gonna have to do all that. I do not recommend this to anybody as a DIY if you do not know what you're doing. Otherwise, you could definitely cause some serious damage or explosion, possibly. I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the actual fuel rail, where I'm gonna have to cut that. But you guys will actually get to see what it looks like when I am pretty much done with the cutting and fitting that line on with the metal brackets to that actual fuel rail, so it is basically close tight. It's pretty much been cut, and I'm going to show you guys how I actually got this to fit in here, because it would not fit over these brackets. So I had to shave the opposite side down, and then I hammered it the rest of the way in, which does lock in here, and it's in there very tight. I just cut that side, so we're getting ready to do the exact same thing over here on that side, and then I will put the nylon in between, and then that'll pretty much fix that problem. I need to find out, I guess I'm gonna try to see if I can fill in that big ass hole right there. Guys, I really don't even know what caused that big a hole and what I hit. So far it's actually coming along pretty good. I may get me another boot to go over top of this. I don't think I need to, because it is pretty tight in here. Like, that's real. That's not going nowhere. Like, that's in there for real. I actually had to hammer it in there so that way it kind of slid. I didn't shave it down too loose, but loose enough to where I can actually hammer it all the way in, and it's pretty much stuck in there. And yeah, so that's pretty much what it looks like. So we're gonna go ahead and do the exact same on this side of the rod where I cut that out. I had to make sure that this side was pretty even, because it was kind of still pinched in, so I went ahead and cut some more off. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing I did here on that side. If you look at these ridges here, it's not going to fit snug into that hole. So what I'm going to have to do is, like I did on the other side, I'm going to have to shave down one of these sides just low enough to where I can actually get the tip in, and then I'll be able to hammer the rest of the way, and that'll basically lock this metal piece or metal clamp inside there. And then I can go ahead and start to measure my nylon that's going to go across the middle and bridge that and basically close that that gap up. And as y'all can see, it's pretty much uniform. Everything came out very, very good. And so I'm getting ready to turn the car on. But again, like I said, seek professional help if you do not know what you're doing. The kit is pretty simple. Like I said, you may have to tweak it a little bit, but if you do not know what you're doing, I do not recommend you to do it that way. And again, like I said, if it is a daily driver, go ahead and get that completely swapped out if it's very badly damaged. This was damaged in that middle part, and like I said, this is a 2007, so the lines are pretty much discontinued. So I'm definitely going to be trying to check to see if I can find one, but as of right now, the repair kit is working for me at this time. So there you pretty much have it, guys. Pretty easy fix, pretty quick. Like I said, I'm going to get me a bracket to kind of push this back up and pretty much protect these lines here because my car is lowered. So again, I really don't know what I hit. It could have been a really bad pothole or a raise in the highway or in the road or whatever. But this was part of the EVAP situation that was causing also part of that leak. And now it's pretty much fixed and repaired. And now we're basically going to move on. So here y'all can definitely see how badly damaged that piece was. Like, there's nothing squeezing through that. So I really can't believe I hit something that bad to where it completely bent this like a piece of trash. Like, damn. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. Again, like I said, seek professional help if you don't know what you're doing. 9 times out of 10, you don't want to make it worse. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. See you on the next one. See you when I see you. Peace.